my name's Rob and I'm from Australia and I love travelling to new countries. I've been travelling around Kazakhstan and I've been using my social media to reach out to interesting families. I want to understand how this country fits together. So, if you want to prove the people of Kazakhstan are the most hospitable, then invite me.
In today's Invite Me program, Australian traveller Robert Boyd has received an invitation from craftswoman Bibaja Simova. Right now he's going to the city of Shymkent to find out, where can you find unusual ice cream? What kurak means? What ingredients you need to cook zhent?
G'day there, my name's Rob and I'm from Australia and I love to travel to new countries, but most of all I like to find out the most interesting facts about people's origins and their culture. Along the way, make some new friends. So if you want to prove the people of Kazakhstan are the most hospitable, then invite me. You know, every traveller has their own different way of travelling. Some people like to use their guidebooks, some people like to scan across the world using their maps, and some people are just happy to have fridge magnets from friends from all across the world. For me, I have a different way. I like to use my social media networks to reach out across Kazakhstan to find people who invite me and show me their region, their traditions and culture. Today I got an invite from a very interesting person. She's a weaver. Now, I've seen these beautiful tapestries before and I'm keen to find out how they're made. Bibaja has invited me to the southernmost city called Shymkent. We better get going. Now, you can't call Shymkent out in the sticks. It's actually one of Kazakhstan's largest metropolis cities. And in 2017, a very special year, it became one of the millionaire cities. That is one of only 3 in Kazakhstan. Let's go have a look at this place.
Shymkent is one of the main economic and industrial centres of Kazakhstan. Now there are about 70 enterprises engaged in machinery construction, non-ferrous metallurgy, chemical, food and oil refining industries. It's noteworthy that all these industrial objects neighbour real ancient places. Shymkent was once a medieval city. Thus, now part of its districts is in fact an open-air museum.
When it comes to celebrations, nowhere beats Shymkent. They even have a word for it here. It's called toy business. You see, people come from all across Kazakhstan for weddings and celebrations here. It could be 600, 700, even 1,000 people. Now that's as big as an event at the Sydney Opera House.
Kazakhstan is a multicultural country. You'll notice this in Shymkent more than in any other region of Kazakhstan. Representatives of 130 nationalities live and 19 national cultural centres actively operate here. The Kazakhs, Uzbeks and Russians are in the largest ethnic groups here.
Oh, it's really hot here. You know, Shymkent is a hot city, but it's not the hottest city. That goes to Turkestan. And today, it's impossible to walk too far without overheating. I'm going to need to duck into a cafe, cool down, have something cool. Oh, hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's so hot today. What do people drink or do to cool down here?
We offer exclusive ice cream for dessert.
Ice cream sounds good.
It's very popular. It has a taste of such national drinks as kumis and shuba. I strongly recommend that you try it and evaluate the taste of this healthy drink.
Let's absolutely get that. What's the chances of coming to Kazakhstan and having ice cream? Oh, you don't read that in a guidebook. I'm so lucky. This is the way to travel. Yes, please. May I have one? Okay. Thank you. Whoa. Wow. That looks so beautiful.
Приятного аппетита.
Thank you very much. Geez, I'm gonna have to take a photo. Wow, my mom and dad are not gonna believe this. Ice cream made out of horse milk. It's fabulous. Where else can you find this but Kazakhstan? Oh, let's give it a go. All right. That's really, really good. It tastes a little bit like frozen yogurt, but maybe it's got a bit more fat in it because it's much smoother. Check this out. It's so good. Now, kummus is a drink that's made out of fermented horse milk. It's pretty special on a hot day. If you have cold kummus, you're feeling very refreshed and very healthy. It's fantastic. Now, the nomads were making this drink over 2,000 years ago. This is before the time of Christianity. And it's said that if people stole the secret to kummus, they'd have their eyes poked out. Who can imagine now, 2,000 years later, I'm able to eat ice cream made out of kummus, and it's delicious. I've got a special thing too. They've invited me out the back to see how they're making this stuff. I'm really excited. I don't want to hurry, but I'm going to enjoy this, and then I'm going to learn how this ice cream is made.
Our ice cream is made from either kummus or shubat. We also add cow's cream. The ice cream contains 30 to 40% of kummus or shubat. Besides, we add eggs and sugar, granulated sugar. We don't add any chemical ingredients. We want to highlight that this ice cream is healthy. It became a hit dessert a long time ago here. Both adults and children like it a lot. Like a majority of modern food products, kummus ice cream is made in a closed production line. These conditions provide maximum sterility and safety of the food product.
Wow, that's so cool. Wow. Thank you. Really, really good. So thank you very much for showing me all of this. It's been really fantastic. It was interesting to find out the ingredients and how it's all made. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you too. You're welcome. Come again. An unexpected but very pleasant meeting has delayed me on the way. As a result, I'll come to my new friend in a Kazakh way. That is being late. I should say that it isn't bad manners, but almost a national tradition here. Everyone is late, wherever they go, including going to visit someone, on a date, or even to work.
G'day, Bibajan. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. We're happy to meet you in Shymkent.
You know, I thought Shymkent was going to be a bit of an ancient place, but it's a very modern city.
Shymkent is a large modern city. At the time, our region has been capable of maintaining a lot of Kazakh traditions. So, welcome. This is our house. Come in, have a look.
Thank you very much.
Now you'll see our Kazakh national needlework. My students are here. All of them learn, including those who are 6 and those who are 70. This is my 6-year-old granddaughter. These girls are weaving tapestries.
Oh, wow.
This Kazakh thing is called a shi. Here is my granddaughter weaving a bag using mixed techniques. This is a patterned, napless, woven woolen carpet.
Weaving is a very private craft here in Kazakhstan, and women all across Kazakhstan would learn to weave. The reason being is that metal goods and wooden goods are just too heavy for a nomadic culture. They would make horse tack, furniture, and many different types of carpets and things around the home. The women would make it out of a very coarse wool, which is very, very durable. And even now, all across Kazakhstan, there's families with goods which have been handed down through generations, items which are vintage, bags, carpets. It's just amazing. And when did you first start learning to do this?
I started learning when I was 6 or 7 years old. My granddaughter is 6 now, and I was like her. I've been weaving for 60 years. Now I teach various kinds of national needlework at universities. I hand down my experience to young people. I also give masterclasses. I teach young women who live in villages and do not work, school and university teachers. I give lessons for 2 to 3 days and explain various topics. For example, I talk about napless woolen carpets, basko, tapestry, shi, wool, explain how to spin yarn, weave a carpet and make a kurak. Visitors from Astana, Tashkent and Moscow attend my masterclasses. Now people are interested in this art. Here we like a proverb saying that our person whose fingers are moving is alive. It means if you can work with your hands, you won't remain hungry. Previous, all woolen things were utilitarian, while today decorative items are made of natural wool more often. These include tapestries such as panels called shi. It's quite easy to make them. They wind threads of wool of different colours around a natural straw to create a pattern or picture in this way. The wool is attached to the twigs using soap to prevent the threads of the pattern from moving. It's laborious work. Besides imagination, it demands diligence and accuracy. This is Guljahan. She's weaving a Kazakh carpet with a thick pile. Well, it begins like this. Zhupar is combing camel hair here. Previously, camel was sheared. The hair was fluffed up, then combed. Yarn was spun, and after that, they could start weaving. They fluffed it up like this. Look.
Ah, can I try? Can you teach me how?
Of course, try it.
Oh, difficult. Just like this?
Hold it here. So, is it difficult?
It's actually really difficult. I'm surprised at how much it grabs. It's, I think, good exercise. So this is interesting, and this must be next. Can I have a go of this as well, please? Thank you. That's amazing. So, can you show me?
It's interesting that all the weaving tools and tools used for processing wool and spinning thread have hardly changed since nomads' times. Only looms and materials used for making tools were updated a little. They are lighter now, which helps make a craftswoman's work more easy.
Wow, this is really, really difficult. Wow, thank you very much for showing me. In times past, nomads used to read the patterns in the weave. You see, a camel's neck, a bird's beak or a ram's horn would be asking for prosperity. Plant-based symbols would be asking for health or for fertility. And star symbols and sun symbols were all about asking for the gods for protection. It's interesting, isn't it? I was reading before that before starting a really difficult work, people used to sacrifice a ram or a sheep. Do you believe in that, and do people still do it?
Previously, craftswomen did it exactly as you said. However, times have changed. Now people don't do that any longer.
And I was also reading that when a piece of work hasn't been finished yet, that you shouldn't show anybody because you could jinx the work. Do you believe in that?
That's right, it's true. People believe in this omen nowadays too. For example, if I work on something, I'll show it only after the work is done, and I like it myself. Otherwise, people may not understand the meaning of the unfinished work and evaluate it wrongly. Thus, I like to show only finished works. There's a popular belief according to which you should do needlework only when your thoughts are positive, you're in a good mood. For example, when it's morning, it's better not to work at all. It's believed that a weaver will convey grief and sadness to an item that she works on. Later, it will accumulate negative energy at home.
And tell me also, I was reading that men shouldn't be allowed near a loom or touch it or be part of it, otherwise the goddess Umay would get angry. Do you believe in that?
Kazakh men didn't do women's work. However, as for other peoples, for example Uzbeks and Arabs, men do needlework. The Uzbeks and Arabs often make such items, but not Kazakhs. Come in, Robert. This is my room. I made all these things with my hands. These works aren't finished yet.
And these, you have medals as well.
These are my medals.
That's really interesting.
I received them in different times of the Soviet period. My works are here. My certificates of merit and diplomas are here.
Oh wow, that's you.
Yes.
There you are again.
There's information about my work in this book of old traditions. And here it is. It's a bag.
Oh, you're in a book. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's a bag. Now young people have similar ones. This work got a medal in Moscow.
Really?
This work got a medal in Moscow. Yes, in Moscow. I took it to the exhibition of achievements of national economy. These are tapestries. This one's title is Asha Bibi, and this one is Dala Kuzi. This is made of chi.
I really like this one. The camels.
It's called camel. Here the girls are making a patchwork quilt. This is Alcha, and this is Kamus.
Oh wow, that's an amazing sewing machine.
I used this using wool and yarn quite a long time ago. It's a napless carpet. Its both sides are the same. It takes more than a month to weave these carpets. They are large and 3 to 4 craftsmen need to work on them. I've got old, so I can't weave such carpets any longer. I mainly make small items. Wow. And tell me about this. What is this? Who you're making it for? It's called korjin. Actually, it's a bag, which is easy to be carried on a horseback. For example, this korjin was given as a circumcision gift, for both parts of it were filled with things. It could also be given as a gift to a bride's relatives when they came to ask for her hand in marriage. It's called kodagi korjin. There's also bala korjin, which is for a child. All these patterns I came up with myself and drew them. The strings for this bag I wove using natural camel hair. I sew everything myself using a loom. I even sewed this fastening myself. We can say confidently that handicrafts made in a national style are very popular again nowadays. The Kazakhs themselves resume using such articles like korjin every day. The foreigners who are actively exploring Central Asia are interested in handmade items because they're authentic, environmentally friendly. Mainly natural materials are used when making such things. By the way, it's the reason why handmade carpets and bags and souvenirs are expensive. And what's this made out of? Is this from camel or sheep or? The carpets we sit on have a cotton base and their top is made of sheep's wool. They are heavy, and if you touch them, they are rough. The carpets hanging on the walls have goat's bristle base, and the top is made of camel hair. They're very thin and light. If you compare their weights, the difference is significant. Camel hair is beautifully thin and light. Our grandmothers learned how to use animal hair effectively without throwing away anything. They made both carpets and pieces of felt. You know, my work helps me. I feel invigorated and realize that I'm useful when I'm working. For example, when I'm making korjin, I know that it's in demand and often used. I also make special tassels. Previously, they were used only to decorate yurts, but now they decorate cafes, restaurants, offices and homes. This is a fringe, which is often used too. All my works are in demand and people use them in everyday life. It makes me happy. Now there are only a few old women who can make these things, because we've got old. My grandmother Kulan taught me. I'm still doing what she taught me to. I teach young people too. I don't teach only students and school children, but also adults, including young daughters-in-laws and girls. I invite all of them to my home and teach free of charge. I don't want to take this art with me, but want to hand down my knowledge to young people. I want them to continue this work because every work belonging to Kazakh applied arts and every material have their value. For example, wool. Sheep are sheared in autumn, then the wool is fluffed up and combed as you've just seen it. Afterwards they need to spin yarn, dye it and attach it to a loom. In general, it's labour-intensive and interesting process. As a result, we can weave a carpet or napless woven woolen carpet on our own. These are very important and necessary things. They are part of our history and traditions. For example, kurak is a patchwork quilt. However, they are not just squares of cloth. They're connected with a tradition the Kazakhs had before. When a respected person dies, pieces of cloth were given away at their funeral. People made patchwork quilts or pillowcases using them, so they didn't remain somewhere at home without being used. A bit later, they started making patchwork quilts, used as a dowry. Robert, thank you for showing interest in the occupation I've dedicated my life to. Thank you for accepting my invitation, coming here and seeing all these things. I'm very happy. Now it's dinner time, so let's go to the table. Following Kazakh traditions, Bibija's children and relatives, also people who have become close to this talented craftswoman, have joined us to this celebratory meal. To celebrate your visit, people close to me have gathered around the table. This is Jibek, our family friend. These are my husband's sisters, Nazira and Joly. They are my sisters-in-law. There's my eldest son, Bakujan. My daughter, Guldana, is next to him. This is Jupa, my daughter. This is my grandson, Almas, Jupa's son. My grandson has brought his friends. It's dinner time, so let's eat. Do you remember me saying that Shymkent was an incomparable city when it comes to receiving guests? So even an ordinary dinner turns into a great celebratory meal here. They put on the table everything, ranging from hot filling beshpamak to pastries and fruits, which are usually eaten for dessert. The reason for this is the fact that people in Kazakhstan don't eat in a hurry. They consume food properly during a heart-to-heart chats and talks, which are warm, like the homemade bread I was offered. This bread was baked outside in the same way Kazakhs did it before using dry manure fuel. It's homemade bread. It's still warm.
Oh, it smells amazing. It's tough too. Fantastic.
I thought that travelling around Kazakhstan, I'd already tried all the gastronomic delicacies of this country. However, at Bibijar's Daskahan, I realised I'd been mistaken.
This is very new for me. What's the ingredients for this?
It's zhent. It's very good, tasty and filling Kazakh dish. It provides a person with strength and energy. It's very good for your stomach. Our grandmothers made it. It's one of our national dishes. You can say with certainty that zhent is a Kazakh national dessert. Actually, Bashkirs and other Turkic people have similar dishes. It's made with ground grains, butter and sugar. Then they shape it and freeze it. As a result, we have a very tasty and filling dish.
Thank you very much, my friends. Bibijar, Apai, thank you very, very much. It was fantastic to be able to touch a part of history. And I think it's so important that you're teaching people and keeping these traditions alive. So that's magical. So thank you so much for today. It was really fantastic.
Thank you for accepting my invitation, visiting our Kazakhstan, my family and meeting people close to me. Rahmet. We Kazakhs follow our tradition and don't let anyone leave empty-handed. Thus, I want to give you a camel as a present. It's a souvenir camel.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you very, very much.
This camel brings happiness. It's a key ring. So add your keys to it. It's for you.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Rahmet, thank you. I had an amazing day today visiting Shymkent. It's one of the largest cities in the south of Kazakhstan. I also got to eat something, ice cream made out of horse milk. I also tasted something so salty called kurk. It tastes like the sea near my hometown in Australia, the Pacific Ocean. I also got to chill out while making yarn out of wool. But most importantly, I saw how this craftswoman makes her works. Kazakhstan's an amazing place full of cordial and hospitable people. If you're traveling here, you're never going to have to worry about food and lodgings. If you don't believe me, come and try it for yourself. As for me, I'm really looking forward to more adventures. If you can help me, invite me.